Well, hello, friends. It is TexAgs Rewind presented by T-Mobile. They want you to visit T-Mobile.com/across America to learn how you get more value and coverage through T-Mobile. Kay Nagley does the Social Center. She's covered every sport here at Aggieland for the Bat. Now she's doing stuff for TexAgs and doing great work. You like the softball hire from what you're reading?
I do. I really like Twitter's reaction about everything, and I really think she's going to fit right in with this already, experienced roster.
So I did a poor job of telling you who that hire is. So if you're waiting for it, it's Trisha Ford from Arizona State. She is the new A&M softball coach, so we're looking forward to that. So we talked about that on the program. We had Coach Henry on the show. We love Coach Henry, right? I'm speaking for you.
Love Coach Henry. Always a great guy to talk to.
Where is he right now?
Eugene, Oregon.
See? I don't even have to tell her what I'm going to ask. She knows the answer. He is there for the NCAA Championships. We had J.B. Moss on the show. We talked a lot of baseball with him and the voice of the Aggies. That's Andrew Monaco. He's a good friend to the show. On the Go Hour, we talked a lot about this matchup against Louisville. So we had that and much, much more. It is TexAgs Rewind. This is going to be a tough one. No, I mean, they're all tough at this point, but I feel like coming out of the regional that A&M, by the way, won all 3 games. But the regional they came out of, it's not an easy road. And it's not supposed to be, but maybe some other programs get an easier road.
Yeah. Here's a question. Do you get a boost of confidence when you see a lot of the teams that A&M beat either are still alive or like Vanderbilt was eliminated by 1 run?
Right.
Texas State was eliminated by 1 run.
In the ninth.
I had to go to bed. I couldn't stay up and watch the rest of it. It was, I think, 1-1 when I went to bed. But anyway, the fact that the SEC has 5 teams still alive, that, again, some of the teams that aren't, Texas is still alive, you beat them. Does that give you any boost of confidence?
That gives me confidence. And the other thing that gives me confidence is the eyeball test. This team just wins, man. It goes along with what you're saying. They just find a way to get the runs when they need them. And at the end of a game, whatever pitcher's left, it's the Aggies' bats are going to get hot. That's how it's been for months now.
Well, they can definitely slug with anybody, and I think we're going to have some slugfests. Hopefully, that won't be the case, and the A&M pitchers will get back to their best form.
Look, if Michael Dallas gives you what he gave you the last couple of starts, of course you're winning some games. If Nathan Detmer can just get a little bit closer, just a little bit closer to the ace that we've seen this year, yeah, we're on the right path.
It's amazing that we're talking about A&M and a chance to get to the College World Series when there was that point early in the year when people were calling out on the ledge.
Yeah. Well, I'll also say this. I was listening to you guys every day from, I think, January 20th to when I started here, right? Because I knew I was coming, right? And I learned so much about this baseball team last year and the vibe because you guys did discuss it quite a bit in the Go Hour. And from what I was told and heard from Bronny and Gabe and everybody who had followed Schlossnagel's career, this was coming. Now I don't know if we thought it was going to happen within the same calendar year, but this was hey, you want the Jimbo blueprint? This guy's bringing it. He's done it for a long time at TCU. He's doing it here at Texas A&M. If they get to the College World Series in year 1,
I think they've already done. Well, we talked about it yesterday. I think they're already, playing with house money and everything else is gravy and all the other cliches I can come up with. But of course, you hope that they can continue advancing, and you're going to be disappointed if they don't. But when it's all over, you're going to take a step back and say, "Man, look what these guys have have accomplished in year 1 with a bunch of transfers and that took a while to meld, and when they did."
Got to talk about the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly what Jim Schlossnagel signed up for, all 3 games.
Yeah. It's I don't want to say easy to root for, but that team is easy to root for, is it not? Because you're seeing everything. They just lay it all out there on Olsen Field the entire time. And the beauty of the 12th man is they appreciate not just the Dylan Rock home runs. It's going to be the Trevor Werner defensive play. It's going to be a Menifee strikeout. It's going to be Jacob Polish coming in. It's everything that's in on that. And then to see how engaged the dugout can be with the crowd as well, I think it's a team that is likable as well as being talented. I've told you that. I think that there is a commonality with basketball. I think
100.
I agree with that. The joy for one another on that team is something special.
And that starts at the top. That is a Jim and a Buzz thing. They create a culture, and they get the right kind of guys for their culture. You look at the basketball team, they were all likable. Like, how do you not love Quentin? How do you not love Henry Coleman and the spokesperson for this university that he has become? How do you not love Jack Moss, who's kind of quiet, and Dylan Rock with the bat flip, who's got a swagger to him, but not like a Tennessee swagger,
right.
a little different.
A lot different.
Yeah.
A lot different than Tennessee, right? Yeah. Will Johnston told us on our show, Studio 12, we were talking about Jack Moss, and he said 2-strike pitch came to him, and pitcher throws him a nasty slider. He just fouls it off, right? Looks over at the dugout and winks. And Will said, and that's the moment Jack Moss just took his soul away. And I'm like, that's those kind of things that they share with one another is just fantastic. And again, there's that likability, but you're also seeing they're maxing out their abilities as well. You can see that. And it doesn't have to be one person carry the team. It could be absolutely anybody can be that hero for that game, but it's just something pervasive. And the other thing Will Johnston said to us, belief. Yeah. There's belief. It's powerful. And Michael Early, we had him the second time on a second interview after Dylan Rock on our broadcast on Sunday, and he said belief is a powerful thing, and I think we're seeing that right now in this team.
Speaking of belief, I can speak for myself as a media member / fan of this team. And I have, throughout my years, because of growing up in Houston, had a battered Aggie sports syndrome and Houston sports fan syndrome as well, right? To where I wouldn't believe when I should believe. And an example, A&M UCLA. Like, I just, even with a lead, I'm like, I can see us giving it up. With this team, and really towards the end for basketball too, I found ways to believe, they're about to score 4 or 5 runs. Like, it's coming. We know it's coming, and it's because they've proven it. And so the belief, I think, has changed for the fans.
It now, like, 1 run is disappointing. We're so used to crooked numbers.
They only
now,
scored 2 in the 8th? What?
They left somebody on in scoring position. I think that's it. And I think that also permeates other teams' thinking is, okay, we went twice through the lineup. Can we get the third time through the lineup? When there's no mistake that the reason why they're scoring so many runs in the 5th and 6th inning is it's about the third time through that Aggie lineup. Mm-hmm. And then once you do that and you get into another team's bullpen, which it's not always like the SEC where you get rid of the starter and that next guy coming in might be just as hard or even a better pitcher, something like that. You get into regionals at times, they're not always built like that. But that Aggie team, and then in the late innings, after they've seen so many pitches, they've collected so much data, so to speak, when they bat the 3rd and 4th times. Boy, if you're not bringing your best stuff, they absolutely make you pay. And it's not, that's great, that was a double, a good double. That's good for our inning. No. Even after home runs, like, how many times do you hear, man, a home run kills the momentum of an inning? Well, then, there's the 3-run home run. Then all of a sudden, there's a walk. Then there's a single. Now there's 2 on. And the pitcher, it's a relentless lineup that A&M possesses. So
I love getting people's perspective on this because, I think we all had similar emotions on that roller coaster night. And it was a long, long night, 5 hours and 2 minutes of baseball out there. So kind of take me through your view of the game, how you watched it, how you consumed it, what you were feeling throughout, and before the offensive explosion and then afterwards.
Well, to be honest with you, Nuno, I've had a bit of PTSD when it comes to facing TCU, especially in the postseason. A whirlwind of emotions for 5 hours, that's for sure. What an incredible game. Incredible comeback by the boys. I'm so proud of them. At the beginning of the game, I was pretty frustrated, to be honest with you. That TCU pitcher was feeling pretty good about himself and letting us know about it. So I was pretty frustrated at the beginning of the game. And, what more can you say? Just the heart and determination of the team to come back and just the back and forth haymakers from both sides. And then the 9th inning, gosh, a 6 spot and just putting them away. I couldn't have been more happy. And just what a fun time.
Yeah, just an incredible atmosphere, and I know, like, I get that PTSD. Like, are you like going through that in the eighth when they're up? Like, here we go again. We're gonna have to do it then tomorrow.
There was some unhealthy thoughts late in the game. I won't lie to you. I was just, Nuno, I thought it was very important for them to win that night because our team isn't built for, a 4-game regional, in my opinion. I think we were going to run out of pitching, and it did make me pretty nervous. So in the eighth inning, I was down a bit, but gosh, never in my wildest dreams would I have thought a 6 spot was coming in the ninth. I did think that they were going to tie it. I really liked where we were in our lineup. But credit to those kids, man. Just, excuse my language, but a bunch of badasses, man. I mean, just coming after you and never giving up and always in the fight, and just couldn't be more proud of them.
Yeah, what I've learned about this team, I was telling Andrew Monaco earlier, is like I just have learned to not doubt. I have a lot of doubt in me because of what your teams had to go through in the years, and just being an Aggie sports fan and a Houston sports fan, I've gotten used to like, oh, we're going to give up this lead. This team gives me a reason to believe until the last out they have a chance, and they're going to find a way to win.
Exactly right, and they've proven it to us over and over and over again. So, listen, I can vote for all the Aggies. We should stop doubting them for sure because they just keep doing it.
So what kind of schedule have you guys been? When did you arrive in Eugene, and what's kind of been the lay of the land, if you will?
We got out here Sunday evening, and we've trained one day here. And I've got a team meeting breakfast here in about 15 minutes. And we have another training session at 11:45 today. A little bit more work for the women today than for men because men start competition tomorrow. But that's our schedule right now.
Has this team, and I don't even know if this is a fair question, Coach Henry, but has this team exceeded your expectations, or do you not put any real expectations, you just put in the work?
No, we have expectations every year for each and every athlete and for our team. On the men's side, I think that we've done some things pretty well. We, on a conference level, have not had the depth to be successful that we need to have, and it's something that we're trying to change. And as we've talked about, there's reasons for that. But on the women's side, we've done a little bit better job with that, although we don't have as many women as some schools do here. But the women we have here and the men we have here are very good athletes. So this meet comes down to, your real elite athletes. This one comes down to you could have absolutely your best performance and be a great performance and be eighth. Because this championship is so good. These marks, this will be the best track meet in the world right now, and so you got to be at the top of your game every time. Tomorrow we start preliminary rounds with men, and you run one preliminary round in every event, and then the final you skip the day, and then the final is the next day. Now there are some events. Bryce Foster's the shot put. It's the final tomorrow. Everything's contested in one day, but the 100 and the 400 and the intermediate hurdles and the half mile and mile relays are all run tomorrow, preliminary round, and you go into it. It says prelim, but it really isn't. It's the final, and you have to look at it that way because if you look at it any different, then you have to be able to get the best out of yourself, the absolute best out of yourself in the preliminary round to get to go to the next round. If you don't come that prepared, you're going to get left out of the show.
All right, guys. After a long delay, I had to take a call from Billy Lucci, so I forgot my train of thought. What are we supposed to do after? I'm really lost. What do we do after a YouTube video? I don't know what to do.
Like something like that, right?
Like,
comment,
subscribe. I thought I forgot. Yeah. Anything else?
Tell your friends.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of another school, continue to help our algorithm. That helps, right? It helps pay the bills. That's how Kay makes the big bucks, by you commenting on it. It is TexAgs Rewind. It's the worst throw ever. Thanks for watching.